Today, I'm going to give you an intro to SEO that you may not actually expect. It's going to be a little bit different. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. This episode is brought to you by Jane, a clinic management software built to help you focus on what matters most, your patients. Building rapport with your patients is important during appointments, and that can be challenging when you're also trying to take timely and detailed documentation. That's why Jane built AI Scribe to help you document important information without the manual note-taking. This feature transforms your sessions, seriously, it's amazing, into chart entries, and all you have to do is review your notes, sign the chart, and you're done. And since security is a top priority at Jane, seriously, it is so important to them. AI Scribe was built securely in-house to be fully HIPAA and PIP EDA compliant. With a tool you can trust, Jane helps you spend more time on patient care. To learn more about how Jane can help change how you feel about documentation, head to meet.jane.app/documentation to book a demo or sign up. And if you're ready to go, don't forget to use my code LEX1MO for a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. And if you're curious about AI Scribe, I highly recommend you go ahead and take a demo with Jane because I saw it in action and it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am recording again this week, obviously, of course. But what I meant to say there was I am recording, goodness gracious, I just took my clip and whacked it on my microphone. Welcome to the party that is Saturday. I am recording an episode today and I was sitting at my desk and just so you know, like how I brainstorm, what am I going to talk about? SEO School is going to be opening up for enrollment this month. So you'll hear more about that in a second. So I won't dive into the details there, but I was sitting here and I'm like, I wrote down, I've done a bazillion episodes about SEO. I've talked about SEO on Instagram forever, in my emails forever. I've ran SEO School now 8 times. This will be the 9th round that I've run it. And I was sitting here and I'm like, what more can I introduce as far as like where SEO fits into your business, or like what is an intro? What could an intro, if you will, episode look like? And so I think I've come down to a really good way to introduce this to you and like options, if you will, and why it matters outside of being like, it gets me new patients, because it's so much more than that. And I know that even folks who are like, I have a full schedule, I do feel like this is super applicable. I know this is applicable to most people. So I'm going to intro it that way. We're going to talk about it. And I am very happy I sat with this for so long to figure out what I wanted to say around this intro, and not be like, this is SEO, like I've done before. So really excited for that. So we'll jump into that part in a second. A couple updates, life stuff. I know there are a few things that I've mentioned on this podcast. I'm just going to run down the list here. Number 1, I know last week I mentioned that I was in a situation where I was like, I don't feel good and I'm going to record this episode in 12 minutes because my body is on fire and I don't miss an episode. Like I've gone over this before. It's like I have these expectations for myself and I don't miss a Monday for launching a podcast episode. If I were in the hospital, obviously that would probably be or if something, emergency happened, like great. But I'm here, I'm recording, I did the thing because I cannot miss this Monday. So I want to there are a few people that I will not mention by name, but they know exactly who they are, who reached out to me and just said like, hey, you good? So thank you to those 2 people. And for anyone who listened and was curious, I'm good. I'm safe. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it was just kind of unfortunate that I was there at the wrong place, wrong time. Nothing serious. I'm going to say, I'm putting serious in quotes. Like the people who I talk to, like they know it's, they know the deets. And I'm not looking to share all the details here just because it's so complex of a situation that there's just so much that goes into it. I know some people will be on like one side, and anyway, I am safe. Everything is good. It's just my nervous system was shook up. And when your nervous system is shook up, it takes you some time to come down, regardless of like I want to say the result of the situation. Could it have been worse? Yes. What, am I okay? Yes. Is it one of those things where now I'm super attentive when I go to the grocery store? Yes, I am. But again, wrong place, wrong time, nothing. I had the support I needed. Shantae was there when I needed her. I had other people who like made sure I was okay where I was before Shantae had gotten there. So it's like everything is good. I am healthy, safe, what have you. But anyway, just wanted to let you know that, because again, I'm not trying to be like the person on Facebook who's like, pray for me, and then not telling you what exactly happened. But the reason I'm not telling you exactly what happened is because there is so much behind it, meaning like the reasoning that it happened. And like some people will give me advice that I really don't need, or that I'm not asking for. And yeah. So anyway, just letting you know, because I know that there are people who listen to this and are probably wondering. So everything is good. It's just, wrong place, wrong time. As far as other personal stuff goes, lifting wise, my back has not been bothering me in volleyball, and it has not been hurting. So that's great. Thank you, Betsy, for programming. I will say the deadlifts are helping. All of the back extension stuff is helping on the GHD. I know it's helping because I do not have pain right now. Yeah. So I just know it's helping. So thank you so much. Again, I will, I am not the person. Shantae and I have to do an episode on this. I'm actually going to write it on my calendar right now to do an episode on this for, after SEO School launch. But I was just going through with Shantae. She's like, do you not like lifting? Because I was like, oh, I have to check the box today. I got to do it after I do a little bit of work. And she's like, do you not like it? And my answer, like, it's not that I don't like it, but like sometimes it does feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I know I have to do it. I know I have to get it done, but like after a long work day, it's probably one of the least likely things that I want to like go down and do. So, but it comes in waves. Like sometimes I will just really have to drag my ass down there. And then some days I'm like neutral about it, but I will say sometimes I'm not excited every day to know that I have to lift. But like, again, I have to, in that lifting episode that I'll talk about, I also need to like go through the health stuff that I'm talking about with the functional medicine provider, because I have to lift. Like I don't have a choice. So anyway, and I'm a PT, like I know it's good for me, but I can't say that I like wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I can't wait to lift today. I don't know. I understand like enjoy the process and blah, 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 blah. But I'm also not the person who like tries to, I don't think that I have to like absolutely love it. I just have to be able to, do it. But again, like finding enjoyment in it is obviously a better thing than being like, oh, I hope I like it today. But anyway, so there's that. Feeling great. Thanks to Betsy. So thank you so much, Betsy. Moose is doing well. Rupert's doing well. Honestly, the kids are great. But really nothing else. No other big updates. We have some, honestly, I'm looking at my calendar. It's over to my right. I'm looking at our calendar and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's so much travel and so much. And that's like, it's not like it's a champagne problem. I understand. But also, we just have like weddings and vacations and Thanksgiving, and this part of the year always goes by so fast, and then suddenly it's Shantae's birthday and the beginning of next year. Like we're signing a really long lease, which I'm like, I am so excited about. We're signing a really long lease in the next couple of days, and just feeling really grateful about that. And yeah, just feeling really, really grateful. If you rent, and especially in California, it goes month to month. If at the end of your first year, it goes month to month. We signed a 2-year lease before, but we were offered the ability to sign a long-term lease, like a really long-term lease this past week by our landlords. And that means that they're not going to raise rent for that much longer, like for that long. And they didn't raise it this time. So it's just like, it's one of those things where you're like, I feel so grateful. And obviously, like signing a lease with your partner is also a big deal. So, obviously like on the high train as far as that goes. But we're just busy this month. These next couple months are busy between both of us. She's launching twice. I'm launching once, and we're launching together another time. So I guess she's launching 3 times, maybe even 4. I'm not even sure, but just busy. It's a busy, busy time. But again, I'm so grateful for it. But I think, I am not a human. Like sometimes I love the people who DM me and they're like, thank you for saying that because I didn't realize that you faced that too. And I'm like, I literally, yes, I am a full blown human. The other day, someone had DM'd me and was like, thank you so much for not removing your, I think I was saying, I was saying I said like a couple times, like this, like that in my reel. And they were like, thank you for not removing that. And I was like, oh my God, I just did it again. I genuinely did not feel like that I would never remove my likes or my what is that? Verbal crutches. I would never remove my verbal crutches. And I'm a one take Tina is what I say typically. One take Tammy, one take Tina. Like I don't do these things twice because I don't want to. And 2, I'm also a human. And I feel like lately there's a lot of freaking podcasts that are scripted as shit. And I'm like, I can tell you're reading from a script and this is boring. So maybe you find this entertaining because I do stumble over my words and that I'm being real. I don't know, but I always want to come across to you as a real human. Yes, I hold myself to a standard of I'm not going to miss a Monday. I understand that can be a lot of pressure for some people. And so if that's you, roll with what works for you. But I also want to be very honest when I'm saying I genuinely am doing this in one take. I'm not over here clipping out my podcast, editing things. That's why when people are like, oh, I have to get my podcast edited. I'm like, what are you doing? Putting the intro and the intro in the back end. What are we doing? I don't edit my stuff at all. Now, I understand there are things if you mess up and you want to cut it out because you said something you don't want to say, cool. That's fine. But I'm talking I'm not taking out the me drinking my coffee and whatever else in here. What else? So no other personal stuff, business stuff, 2 things. One thing is Cozy Earth, guys. I told you I would keep you posted. The woman I was talking to is moving to a different role in the company. And she basically told me go ahead and reach out to this person with your podcast stats and all this stuff to continue the conversation of signing another advertising deal with them. And I was I emailed her back and I was honestly, I appreciate the opportunity and I'm so grateful to work with you. But, starting over sounds really tough for me right now. That just sounds like a really big lift. So I was I'm just going to put a hold on it. So no updates there as far as another relationship with them, but just throwing it out there that I don't know if or when that will happen. I'm not sure. Which is fine, right? It's totally fine. It's not one of those things where I was it is what it is. And I had said that from the beginning and I said I'd keep you posted. So there's the post. And then lastly, I, again, will probably do an episode about live calls. But I hesitate to say this because I'm I know people are going to hear this and be like, oh, you're not taking on new clients. But right now, as of this very moment, I know that my availability is very low on my online scheduler. I have my current clients. I have SEO School coming. I have current SEO clients. We have Lecture Continued people. We will start having Lecture clients in November. So the thing is for me, I'm just well, I don't have the capacity right now to take on new clients for my retainer, which I just took on one person, but I will not have openings for a bit, and then probably until 2026. And then on the other side of things, I am also booking. I believe I just booked my last do it in a day, but I have to double check that. But otherwise, I don't have any openings for a done for you service until 2026. And that will be at a new rates, new packages, new revamps, because that is what I'm going to be working on over the fall after all of the launches and yada, yada, yada. So with that being said, just know I don't love to push my courses and stuff like that for that purpose. But if you're looking to get started now and I don't have availability that works for you, I have lots of done DIY options. And then should you want to book a coaching call, I'll probably have my 2026 availability up, I don't know, shortly into November, or maybe even a little bit earlier than November. So you can book in then. But for right now, there is some availability for coaching calls. So if you're waiting or you're wanting to work with me, make sure you jump on there to do that. Oh my God. Okay. Now that we've done 15 minutes of intro, I am excited to talk about SEO. I mentioned that with SEO, I wanted to talk about the intro to this in a little bit of a different light. And the way that I'm going to do that is, and also PS, if you're looking for SEO School info, I'm going to give you all the deets and all the dates at the end of this episode. So you can skip all this if you want, or if you're listening, you will get that at the end. The intro that I want to give you is essentially why SEO matters for your business. And how I describe that to you is that you can't separate out SEO from the rest of your business. Okay. So the reason I say that is because SEO 101, and the only way to make SEO work, is to know your ideal client and to have your ideal client locked in. And not only your ideal client, but the things that they say, the things that you help them with, the results that you get them, the specific services that you offer them, the specific diagnoses that you work with, everything about them. And when we talk about your ideal client, that is the foundation of SEO, right? So again, I just mentioned that you can't separate that out from your business. Well, you can't separate out your ideal client from your business. Yeah, right? So that should make sense to you. That should make sense in the grand scheme of things. So the biggest thing that I want to I will say multiple times during this is you can't separate it. So the intro to SEO, if you will, is, and when I'm going to explicitly talk about SEO School because this is the frame that I have. When it comes to SEO School and it comes to learning SEO, you end up doing a lot more than just technical stuff. And I feel like a lot of folks are like, am I going to be in the computer in this course? And I would be lying to you if I said no. Of course, that's the point, and that's why you're learning it. You're learning how to do these things in the computer. But I also need you to know, especially with this new curriculum that I've developed, you are going to be dialing in every single aspect of your business. So when it comes down to it, when we talk about SEO, you have to realize that there are many things that you need to have dialed in when it comes down to actually letting your SEO or having SEO succeed or be successful for you. And in the new curriculum that I've developed, I have made sure that, of course, we're addressing the technical components, of course. But I'll be honest with you, all of the technical components in the world do not matter until you have nailed down the other side of things, which is your ideal client. So again, yes, technical, but not technical all the time, right? And when we talk about what we do in SEO School, everything is included. So we talk about your website. We talk about your homepage, your about page, your service pages, your contact page. We talk about the extra pages that you can possibly have. We talk about the URLs of those pages. We talk about the copy on those pages. What are you actually saying? We talk about the photos on those pages, how to optimize photos, what photos to choose, how to put them on the pages. We talk about how to actually lay out your content, what's missing from your website. You get personalized website audits. We talk about social platforms. We talk about blogging. We talk about how to write a blog. We talk about exactly the foundational concepts and the advanced concepts when it comes to using blogging for your business. We talk about podcasting. We talk about, yes, of course, like local SEO and like how to get found locally, and then also how to get found in the US. We talk about SEO tools, and then SEO tools can help you inform your business, because if you need to add a new service, or you are adding a new service, how can you get clients for that service for free, right? And the reason I'm pitching for free is because I know so many people who are just like pouring money into Google Ads, and then I won't mention specifics, but people pour money into these Google Ads. And then what ends up happening is because they think that if they pour money into Google Ads, they'll get new patients for that service. I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but then I see the ads they're running they're running their, the pages they're running their ads to. One, topic for another podcast, they should be on their website. But two, the Google ad they're running is running an ad to their website that is not even close to being optimized, and not even close to speaking to an ideal client, not even close to having any of the elements that you should have on a website to make someone choose you. Because if we take a step back, I want you to think about the last time that you needed a service. So I'm going to give you my quick little, by the way, I was looking for a massage therapist locally. Okay. So I'm looking for someone as a massage therapist locally. I went to Google, I typed it in, I opened like 16 different websites. I know that I am picky. I'm picky with who I'm going to go to, because I want to make sure that they're okay with doing super light touch, and they're not going to, do some sort of like forced treatment, which I think does still happen. I know that people will say like, oh, that doesn't happen, they let you choose, but I want to make sure they have good reviews. I want to make sure they have up-to-date, I will say an up-to-date website. That's really important to me, because then I know that their hours are accurate. I know that there's online scheduling. I can see their prices. Like there's a lot of things that I'm looking at. I want you to think about the last time you went and looked at a service and then didn't choose a specific business because their website was not up to date, or their website did not give you the information that you needed, and you left with questions and you were like, oh man, this other website, I have all my questions answered. I'm going to go book with them. I know it happens. I know a lot of people have done that. And I want everyone to understand that judgment is always going to be there. So people are going to judge whatever you put online as far as like what your website looks like, what your hours are, what your prices are, the about you, whatever it is. There's going to be judgment associated with that. And it's not a bad thing. It's just reality. So what you need to do is make sure that you're promoting yourself, you're promoting your services to your ideal client always in the best way. And that does include optimizing the look of your website and everything on your website. The long and the short there, and like ending that thought, I just want to make sure that it's obvious that this goes way beyond just like the technical components of SEO, which yes, are present. Yes, it is in the course, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I think people think this is like being in the computer, but by learning these concepts, you actually end up dialing in your entire business. And I don't put SEO School on the pedestal by any means. Like I'm not business coaching. I'm not giving you business coaching. But what I will tell you is that if you have a business coach and they are providing you with information like you should be doing this or this would make sense, we also work to implement all of those things on your website. And you also may find like, I'm guaranteeing every single person who has taken SEO School and listening to this podcast, you will nod your head when I say that regardless of where you think you are at in your business, and regardless of what you think you have dialed in your business, there is always something that comes up that you can improve when you take SEO School. Whether it's the content on the pages, the way you lay out your pages, again, like the layout of your whole website in general, the structure of your website, how to do I'm going to say the correct or most optimal way to have a contact page. Like all of that stuff goes into this, and there's always something to improve. So the intro that I'm giving you to SEO, and the reason why I say this is because we can't separate things out. And it's impossible for me to do that, right? Because I could tell you, hey, you know what? This course covers all the technical components, period. I'm going to teach you how to do all this stuff. We're going to do all this stuff. Then you're going to go do it. I am not doing you a service by just saying like, let's go do these tasks without auditing what you currently have and without auditing what you're doing the tasks for. So for instance, I could say, okay, go label your images, go do this thing. But if we don't first talk about what your page includes and what pages you need and what your messaging is around your service and how to talk to your ideal client, now you're going to go quote unquote optimize things that don't need optimizing simply because they're not actually what you need in the first place. So that's my whole platform that I stand on when it comes to this course is like the intro to SEO is the fact that you can't separate this out from the rest of your business. And that's why it's also such a powerful course in my opinion, because, and obviously I am super freaking biased, but you get to dive into so many aspects of your business that you didn't even realize you needed to look at. And it's such simple stuff. And especially for folks who are like, I created my website when I first started my business and I haven't touched it. This is the best place for you to be because you're going to get direction on how to actually update all of that stuff. And it's going to be a great experience because now you're going to have time that you devote to doing that. So that's like that was my big message. I want to make sure you understand, like, you can't separate this out. You can't just like take it and be like, let's go do the technical component of my business. This is the technical component of my business. The rest of my business is over here. Like, no, the way you structure your offer and the way that you have your offer presented on your website, that makes SEO work. You can't have a crappy offer and a crappy experience and then expect SEO to work for you. Like that's not how it works. It all fits together. And that's the message that I had for my SEO School Inner Circle. What comes after SEO School, if you want to keep doing SEO work without coming into my done for you service, I have an SEO Inner Circle. I actually posted in there the other day. I was like, I want you all to know the more that I read and the more that I learn and the more that I see this stuff, I need you to realize and know and feel safe in asking whatever you want to ask in this group because it all matters and it all fits together. Your pricing matters, right? How you portray your offer matters. The actual testimonials of that offer matter. The things that come with that offer matter. What else goes into your offer? That matters. Who are you talking to? That matters. When are you pitching this offer? That matters. So all of this stuff matters. And you can't just like separate it out. This isn't like the computer stuff. This is like the business. And again, like I'm not doing business coaching. That's not what this is, but it does make you think about your business. Like, let me be very real here. It makes you think about your business and your offers and how you portray them. And it is, in my opinion, a very dedicated place to implement the things that you may be feeling like you haven't done yet. And I'm here for that. Now, the other thing that I want to make sure I say out loud as well is that when it comes to SEO, another purpose of this Intro to SEO School course is and I'm smiling while I say it because it does make sense. I want people to understand that, how do I say this? SEO School, I want to say that, and this is, and this is me thinking to make sure I say the thing that I want to say. I want you to know that SEO School, even if you take the whole course and you don't do anything. So I'm saying like you take the course, you buy the course and you don't actually implement it, but then you end up hiring out for it. You know, red flags. I had someone contact me about, I don't know, maybe it was 2 months ago. I had someone contact me and like, I'm very open about how many clients I have. And I also do not take 2 people in the same region because I can't be number one. I'm competitive. I'm competitive and I want to be first. So I'm not taking 2 clients in the same city because now I'm going to be what, first and second? Nope, not happening. So and also like that feels weird to me. I'm not having 2 businesses compete against each other when I'm doing their SEO. That's insane to me. So 1 business per local area. But I had someone reach out and they were not actively working with someone for SEO stuff, but actually another person as well. There are 2 people, but they were able to recognize red flags based on the things that people were saying to them that they could provide to them, and also the things that these people were doing. They were able to say like, that doesn't sound right. And for me, I'm like, if you learn the red flags of hiring someone to do your SEO for you from SEO School, because you don't actually end up implementing the things that you learned in the course, but you learn the fact that like, this is not what we talk about. This is not what we do. This is not X, Y, and Z. Grand. Great. You literally, yes, that is what I want. Because if you go hire someone, I don't want you to get bamboozled. I want to make sure you know what you can and can't do, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. That's super important to me too. So again, like, I know I'm talking great things about SEO School to my program. Obviously, I'm going to put it on a pedestal as far as like what it includes and what it does and what it helps you with. But these are also things that people have told me, and they are important as well. And it's not a bait and switch to like learn how hard it is and then hire me. It's just not what it is. So that's all the information that I have for you, this intro to SEO episode. And again, thank you for being with me. If you're still here and listening, thank you for letting me be on my soapbox about all this stuff. Now let's talk details. So details for SEO School: enrollment will open for the waitlist only on Monday, September 22nd, and will close on Friday, September 26th. If you don't register then, it will be open the following week to the public at a higher price. And so you can enroll when you want, but the bonuses and all the big stuff happen during the waitlist. Money saving happens during the waitlist. The course layout is hybrid, so all the modules are done at your own pace and released weekly. It's 3.5 months of new content and then coaching calls for 6 months. So the coaching calls are huge. We go through everything. Everything comes up on those calls. When I say you cannot separate anything from your business, that's why we talk about email marketing. We talk about sales. We talk about follow-up emails. We talk about literally everything on those calls. So those 6 months of calls are super important for success. So I include 6 months of coaching calls, 2 hours a piece. So that way you have all the time to ask any of the questions you have. There's also an SEO School community group, and the community is super helpful because then you can post questions between calls and ongoing. And then the community group does close at the end of the course, just because obviously it makes the most sense to close at each cohort. So for that 6 months, you have all the support you could possibly need. And then support will go and the course will run from October to April. The call recordings are there. Obviously, like we record every single call. You can go watch every single cohort's calls. Like you can go watch all of that. You have access to the course content and all the updates I provide forever. So it's not like you take the course and then you never, you don't get to it, or maybe you want to go back and learn more after, 2 years. Great. You will have access to the most updated course. It doesn't go away. I don't take access away by any means. The live calls are not new information, but it does end up becoming a source of information. So the live calls, how they work is you bring your questions and I answer, and it's 2 hours of my time. And I have never really had to say like that question isn't appropriate for the group call. But the way that I draw the line is like, if this does not help the group, the greater of the group, then I will ask people to book a personalized call, just because I don't want to waste people's time on a group call doing a singular problem. So like, we're not going to walk through your sales emails for your program. That doesn't fit. But will we talk about how to put an opt-in at the end of the blog, or like why it's important to have an email marketing system and like how that works and how that fits within an SEO? Yes, of course. Will we go through personalized stats and like looking at your stats, and will you get specific recommendations for your business? Should you allow me to be on the back end of your website and your stats? Yes, of course. Like we do all of that stuff. Now, the change this year is I have upgraded the course. I will say like the course was already great. I have, in my opinion, the new layout of this course It is going to be, I think it's the only healthcare specific SEO course. Haven't really found one outside of it. And it is going to be the most comprehensive resource, period. But I am also including what I call the shortcut version, or the TLDR, the Too Lazy Didn't Read version, where, and this is the first time I've done this, I'm going to include a version where I walk you through I don't want to take the course, I want I want to just implement right now way. And it's kind of like a live checklist, if you will. So I'm planning on recording me and optimizing a website page from top to bottom. And that will be what I call, and it's going to be a little bit more than that, but that will be what my Too Lazy Didn't Read version of this course is. So that will be included with the full enrollment of SEO School. So you will be able to, one, go do all the things should you want to go do that. But then the course itself will teach you all the elements, because I do believe, obviously, the information is important, but I also know I have people who are just like, I want to get started right now. Tell me exactly what to do. You can just go do exactly what I tell you what to do, or tell you to do. And then obviously adjust your expectations, because if you don't do every exercise in the course, you may not get the best results. But I do want to have like the Too Lazy Didn't Read version for people, because then you get access to my system and you can implement right away. And that is where I'm at with it. I think that I have been asked about it, and I want to include that this time. So I'm going to do that. Now, the price for the course. So after this enrollment period, so after SEO School opens and closes for enrollment, the price will be $19.97. So just under $2,000. This cohort, because I revamped the course, you're going to get what I call my early adopter rate. So the early adopter rate is going to be $16.97. But if you're on the wait list, you're going to be able to enroll for $14.97. So that is going to be the best rate that it is for the rest of forever. The structure is going to be changing after this cohort. So this will be the last time that I run it the way that I always run it, as in like a cohort-based only system. And that's just going to be what it is. I am really excited to do it this way, and I'm really excited about the course updates, but I always stay true to the way that I run things as far as like how I do, how I run my offers and what it looks like to enroll in my stuff. And people will tell you my early adopter rate is always the best rate. And even though I've run this 8 rounds, I am giving an early adopter rate for this newly revamped course. So you will get the newly revamped curriculum. That is the price for the waitlist, $14.97. And then I will also be offering a 3-month payment plan too. So if you feel like you want to join, but you want to get started at a lower rate, awesome. I will be doing a 3 payment system as well. So you can do that. And then there will be early action bonuses as always. So anyone who enrolls on the first day of waitlist enrollment and grabs a seat in the course, you will get a bunch of early action bonuses. And then I'm still working on a potential bonus that I am excited about, but I don't want to talk about the specific bonuses right this second, just because I still want to sort a couple details out with those. So you will get the early action bonuses if you enroll on the first day of enrollment being open, which is September 22nd. And lastly, I always cap SEO School enrollment. I have actually had to close registration before regular enrollment for one of my cohorts. So it doesn't happen all the time. And also there are typically plenty of seats. So it's not like I don't want to have this like crazy urgency, blah, 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 blah. But I will tell you that if I do reach a certain cap, I will close enrollment, because I can't maintain the quality of the group calls with too many people. And that's important to me. I want the live calls to be super helpful. So I know how many I can handle on a live call. And so in previous years, I've closed enrollment at 30 people. And once I hit 30, I close it up. No more enrolling. The next cohort or the next time I open enrollment will be X, Y, and Z. I let people know. But so if you are on the wait list, you will also get first dibs on seats. And then you don't have to worry about the fact like whether or not you have to wait through public enrollment. But also you save a lot of money. So I would definitely recommend getting on the wait list. Okay, that was a really long episode. I don't think I've recorded for 40 minutes in 1 bazillion years, but I guess we make up for last week's really short episode when I recorded in 12 minutes. So If you have a question about SEO School, please let me know. I would love to answer them. I am happy to answer whatever you want to riff on. Feel free to DM me or email me. And as always, thank you to everyone who reaches out. Thank you to the people who have reviewed the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. You know, it means so much. And again, like, I'm sitting here staring at my computer. I always say it, but I'm sitting here staring at my computer and hoping it's reaching someone and making a difference for someone. So just thank you for, being here and listening. Thank you for being here and listening. This might be the first time. Okay, so my camera, this is going to be, again, I don't cut things out. I just turned my camera, just like made a weird noise. So I turned it off and then it like stopped my mic and then restarted my mic. So anyway, that's the wrap up. I couldn't have waited 30 more seconds until I signed off to do that, but I digress. All right, friends, that's really all I have for you. We will be focusing on SEO for the next couple of weeks because enrollment will be opening, and then we'll get back to other episodes. But as always, please let me know if you have episode requests and I will put them on the list for when I am finished with diving into SEO land. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. I will catch you next time.